This episode brought to you by Chuck's Sewer Plumbing and Drain. Also by Nicholson Realty 2.0. Welcome to Garage Talk. As always, I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. It's time to rock and roll.
How's it going, Teddy?
It's going. How about you?
Let me get my shades on. My future's so bright I gotta wear shades,
Is
Teddy.
that what it is?
Something like that.
He's playing Jim McMahon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Still a young pup.
So, last night, what'd you think, man?
Woo!
Auburn and Florida kicked it off.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
It was a battle of the SEC and bad decisions, I thought.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so, I mean, this game had more tension than a family reunion with an open bar. So, and no bail money.
Yeah.
But Auburn came out, and I thought it was close from tip.
Yeah.
Would they get out 10 at one point?
I believe so. Yeah, that's
10. These are two SEC schools that they know how to party, press, and throw hands in the paint.
pretty much. Pretty much.
And I think Auburn had some light injuries. Broom had a sore elbow or something going on.
That was from last week, but you can tell they favored it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Florida pulled this one out like a tax return you forgot to file. Unexpected, messy, but extremely satisfying.
For them, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a Gator fan,
Well,
I don't have a dog in the fight in the Final Four. It doesn't really matter to me.
I wadded my bracket up last night. I threw it in the trash. I know nothing about sports, so I don't know why I pretend. Every time I'm like, oh, Auburn, this is Auburn season. This is Bruce Pearl. He's going to win one. He's been to 2 Final Fours, 0 championships. This is it. This is the one. Wrong again, Conrad. Wrong again.
Yeah, but look at it. There's Matt Painter. Mm-hmm. He didn't make the Final Four this year, but last year, he always got a great team.
Yeah.
And just can't get over the hump.
Yeah. That hump must be huge. Not that I could ever do it or get close to it, but it seems like something that's just so close for these coaches that have been in it for a long time.
Oh yeah, can you imagine how many sleepless nights they have?
Oh yeah,
Just thinking about that, that don't leave your head.
Would you be able to sleep?
Probably not. Not until you're just totally exhausted, and you might sleep for a couple hours, and boom, what are you thinking of the first thing you wake up?
Yeah, the big game.
Just like James Franklin, Penn State's football coach.
I would love to know what Florida's coach talked to him the night before, because they didn't look panicky. They looked poised, and they had a steady pace. Mm-hmm. They didn't just run, because they like to run and gun, but they stalked that game. Their tempo was really well crafted. It was like a well-crafted joke, timed perfectly and finished with a dagger. Because I'll tell you right now, it was a good game. And the defense on the perimeter, I mean, Auburn's guards shot like they were, trying to hit the ceiling.
Yep.
They went 5 for 21.
That's rough. That's rough. But we all know how it is,
Yeah.
Some nights it's your night, some nights it's not.
Live by the 3.
But die by the 3.
That's right, Teddy.
Because we were, I was at an establishment last night with some great people, some funny people watching the game, and I know second half Auburn was up by 9, and there was 3 or 4 of them in there saying, "It's over, it's over," and 4 minutes later they're looking at each other like, "Oh, maybe it wasn't."
Well, I'm going to say this. This is something that I used to say when I was a kid. Like, if there's time on the clock, it's never over.
No.
It's never over. Especially with teams like Florida. That is fucking pure perseverance.
No. Yeah, I think you saw that in both games last night.
Yeah. And Florida switching defense was filthy. I mean, they turned Auburn's half-court offense into synchronized bricklaying competition. What do you think of that,
That's
Teddy?
a pretty good analogy.
Bricklaying competition. But Florida's bench came through. You know, their second string, they were ruthless, unexpectedly clutch. So,
Yep.
Malik Randall, he had 22 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. He came in with some swagger.
Oh yeah.
And this guy, Walter Clayton Jr.
Lockdown. He's locked down.
Did you know that he and Larry Bird have back-to-back 30-point plus games after the Elite Eight? I think they're
They're the only two.
first player since
Bird, yeah.
since Bird to have a 30-point game this deep in back-to-back 30-point games this deep in the tournament. I mean, Walter Clayton Jr., you know, because everybody was saying Cooper Flagg is like the best. Walter Clayton Jr. looked really.
Pretty. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Walter Clayton Jr. showed a lot of heart. Bryce DeLuca for Auburn, he put in 19 points, 11 rebounds. That's a solid game. You know,
double.
Florida had 17 fast break points to Auburn's 6.
Yeah, that's a game changer there.
Florida's bench, 24 points. Auburn 8, man. And 15 turnovers. You want to guess how many of those turnovers came in the second half?
I think it was what, 12? 11?
10.
Okay.
That's close. 10.
That's
10. Auburn looked like they'd never seen a press before. Florida came at them like bill collectors in the group chat. So, yeah. Yeah. So,
I got Chris Berman with me here today.
yeah.
People.
You know, Ted. You know how I am. But Duke and Houston. Blue Bloods versus the blood sport, man. The whole time, D complained about facial hair and hairdos.
Facial hair and hair.
Yeah.
So you're going to complain about tattoos?
No.
Okay.
No, she was like, man, somebody should do something about that guy's hair. D, he's an 18-year-old, maybe 19-year-old kid. Back off of it. Look at that guy's facial hair. Shave off them chops. That looks ridiculous. But she was like, are you downtrodden since Auburn lost? I'm like, well, I got Duke meeting them. I'm going to cheer on Duke, and that hurt me to say because I'm not a Duke fan.
Right.
And I couldn't do it, Ted. Even though I had them in the championship game, I had Auburn winning it. I could not get myself to cheer on Duke.
Really?
I couldn't do it. I was like, man, Cooper Flagg is playing out of his mind.
He did.
And I kept, because I like an underdog, I just can't help it. And they came out 68-64. It was almost like referees were stepping in like bouncers to break it up. And everybody thought that it would have helped Duke more, but Houston physicality, I mean, they beat up on Duke. They were rough.
They were, and that's our style of play.
Yeah.
You know, Duke's a finesse team. Although Cooper Flagg, he's pretty physical for a tall, skinny kid.
When you ask a team for second chances, you need second chances against Duke. Houston snagged 18 offensive boards, man. That's not basketball. That's robbery.
Pretty much.
Second chances are, I mean, they're few and far between. Do you ever get a second chance? And Houston was getting them left and right.
Well, and what's coaches preach,
Yes.
Box out, box
Box out.
out. Yeah, get a body on them.
That's right, Teddy. Back them out.
A lot of times, you get an offensive rebound, and it was just using the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
It just bounces to you.
Yeah.
So, but
I think, I mean, if you're getting 18 offensive boards, you're working for that.
that's dirty work right there. You're doing
That
dirty
is-
work.
That is dirty work. I agree
It's,
with you 100%. You're busting your tail trying to get
That's
that
tough
second
to do
chance.
that. Yeah, it is, and that's. But you're probably like me, and probably 80% of the country. They thought that game was over last night.
Yeah.
You're down 14 points with what? A little over 6 minutes to play.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. And it felt like I was watching something like I was watching not a miracle, but just something that you don't see a whole lot. And can I say this, or is this one of the trivia questions?
I'm not sure.
How many times have all the number ones met in the Final Four?
This is only the second time.
Yes, Ted, that
Only
is the
second
correct
time.
answer.
Yeah. Yep. Only the second time.
And for all the number ones to be there, these are the games I expected.
Yeah. I agree. It should be that way. That's.
Caldwell had 16.7 rebounds, 3 steals, and he guarded Duke's top scorer like he owed him money and wanted it in blood. And he worked his tail off. Bellamy from Duke, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Bro was hooping, Teddy.
Oh yeah.
And, helping Cooper Flag out. I made an off-cuff comment last night because I said Cooper choked. I don't like saying that. He's an 18-year-old kid.
Yep.
He's an 18-year-old kid.
With a twin brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dad. Houston had 18 offensive rebounds, 22 second chance points. Duke shot 3 of 14 from deep.
And that's unlike Duke.
No. Points in the paint,
Bad.
Houston had 40, Duke had 24.
Right there. That just goes back. There's rebounding right there.
Yep.
A lot of them were second chance points.
Yep. You're out. Yes. Duke came to finesse. Houston came to fight, Teddy.
Pretty much.
This was not March Madness. It was March Mayhem. Sponsored by Tylenol and Ice Baths, baby. Tylenol and Ice Baths, Teddy. So we got Florida and Houston coming up in the championship. I call this the Sunshine State versus Street Ball U. Who do you got?
Florida.
You got a score for me?
I think it's gonna be high scoring. I'm gonna go 90 to 84.
Woo! Wow, that is high. I've got Houston winning it 71 to 66. 71 to 66. I feel like Houston's defense is going to. I mean, it's a high-powered defense against a high-powered offense.
And that's true. And they're hoping that their second half last night.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that carries over into Monday night for them.
Yeah.
Like I said, their defensive second half was just crazy last night.
So, watching Houston in this tournament, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, Teddy, you let me know. But I feel like they grind. They physically grind the whole 40 minutes.
Yep. And that's tough, because they have to be mentally tough as well to withstand being down 14 points with a little over 6 minutes to play. Everybody thinks they're dead in the water, but obviously they didn't.
That's right.
So, that's coming from your coaching staff on down. They've instilled that mentality in those guys, and that's what, the younger generation now, high school kids, junior high kids need to look at. So, we're never done.
Yeah, it's never.
You're not done. Just keep doing what you got to do. And, it can happen. But
I'll say this. If Florida keeps it under 10, 10 turnovers, I think you might be right. But if they turn it over 12 plus times, I think this is Houston's game.
Well, and that's, like I said, Houston, they're pretty good at creating turnovers. At least definitely in the second half last night they were.
Yeah. I mean, on the inbounds,
Oh, yeah.
holy Moses.
Uh-huh.
The inbounds defense was crazy. So,
Yep. But, hey, I think we need to shout out one of our former guests
yeah, definitely.
for the season he had.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Buchanan from
Yes.
Boise State.
Yeah. You interviewed him.
Started his college career at Indiana Wesleyan. He's from Lafayette. He was 6th man of the year in our conference this year.
That's amazing.
And he had 27 points. It was a Thursday night, I believe. Yeah, so
And you sat down and got in his ear.
he's a great young man, too.
Good kid.
All those kids over
Good
there
kid.
where we talked to, as well as the staff.
Yeah.
So,
Follow, subscribe, Garage Talk 46933 on YouTube and TikTok, and go to Garage Talk on Facebook and hit that follow button.